Assalamu alaikum and welcome to your first math class. So we are going to start with the worksheets and we will have different type of questions, and I will try to explain along with all the questions whatever we need to solve over there. Right now we have fractions addition. So when you have different denominators, what the problem is, whenever you are adding fractions or taking away fractions, we need equal denominators. Okay, you need equal bottom numbers. Okay, so here you have 4, 12. Okay, so now what you need to do, go into small number, that is 4. Look at here, I have written the bottom numbers, not the top numbers. I am talking here about only the denominators, not the numerators. Okay, so what you need to do is go into the smaller number, which is 4, and try to find the big number in small numbers timetable. So you know that 4 times 3 equals to 12. So the same thing I am going to do in my first fraction. 4 times 3 equals 12 means I am going to change this fraction denominator into 12. Why I am doing this? Because I have 12 already here in the second fraction. If I will multiply this fraction by 3, I can get 12. So when I will have same denominators, I can add them easily. So that's the purpose of multiplying 4 by 3. Okay, so now let's do it. The thing is that I am giving 3 in the bottom, but if you are giving 3 in the bottom, you have to give 3 as well in the top. This is very important thing you need to understand, and you're not going to make mistake in this whenever you are changing any fraction. So the denominator, sorry, of fraction. So how you will do it? If I ask you that change 4 into 16, how can you change 4 into 16? You know, 4 times 4 equals 16. So what you will do? You will do like this. 4 times 4 is gonna give you 16. Yes, all right. You are right up to here, but wrong in the top. Why? Because if you give 4 the bottom, you also need to be just for top number, that is 4. So 3 times 4 is going to give you 12. So 12, 16 is your answer. Okay, so if I have 2 by 3 and I ask you change 3 into 9, how can you do that? You need to multiply 3 with 9. 3 times 3 equals 9. So what you need to do, you need to multiply 3 with 3, but same thing you need to do in the top. So 2 times 3 is 6 and 3 times 3 is 9. So 6, 9 is actually your answer now. We can go back to our worksheet and try to solve first question. So I was going to make 4 equals 12. So that's why I timed 3 by 3 and 4 by 4. Second fraction is not going to change, so I'm going to write it as it is. Now 3 times 3 is 9 and 4 times 3 is 12. And the second fraction again is going to remain same. Now look at here that you have 12 in the bottom, and now you can add the top numbers easily. That is 9 plus 1 is 12. Sorry, 9 plus 1 is 10 and 12 in the bottom. So 10 by 12 is the answer of your question. So here is some more problem that they ask you to simplify fraction. We have done one part of the question, but the second part is still left. First was 10 by 12, and the second is we need to simplify it. How we can simplify fraction? Simplify fraction means that your answer should also be in fraction, not in decimal. Okay, so now I am going to tell you that how do we simplify fraction. we have 10, 12. So what we need to do is we need to find a common factor of 10 and 12. So what is the meaning of common factor? Common factor will be a number which can divide 10 and 12. So just think about it, that which number can divide 10 and 12. So everybody knows that 2 times 5 is 10 and 2 times 6 is 12. It means you got a number which is 2, and 2 can divide both numbers top and bottom. So how I can write my answer over here? I'm just cancelling it like this. 2 times 5 is 10 and 2 times 6 is 12. So this is your simplified fraction, guys. So we got 5, 6 as a simplified fraction. If you don't understand it, don't worry. We are going to continue doing in different questions. So you will have, inshallah, clear concept regarding this question. Okay, so now going towards question number 2, we have 3, 5 minus 2, 7. Again, we have different denominators, 5 and 7. You are going to write your bottom numbers and then go into the small number which is 5. Do you get 7 in times table of 5? So I know that everybody knows that 7 cannot be in times table of 5. So then what is the other way of solving the denominators? What is the other way that you can make the bottom numbers equal? The other way of making denominators means the bottom number equal is that you have to multiply both numbers with each other. Alright? That means 5 times 7 and 7 times 5. Because first fraction bottom number is 5 and second fraction's bottom number is 7. So I am just multiplying them with each other. 5 times 7 and then 7 times 5. Okay, so 5 times 7 is going to give me 35. 7 times 5 is going to give you 35. So if you look at here, we got same denominators. So this is only, I told you that you will get same denominators by multiplying them with each other. But now we are going to do it in our question. So writing my first fraction, which is 3/5, and then I have to go into the second fraction's bottom number, which is 7. So multiply 7 in the top and in the bottom. So same thing you need to do for the second fraction. Second fraction is 2 7s. So I will write here 2 7, and what I need to do, I need to multiply my top and my bottom number with 5. Okay, so now what you're going to get is 3 times 7 is 21. Okay, so I'm writing here 21. In the bottom I got 5 times 7, which is 35, minus 2 times 5 is 10 and 7 times 5 is 35. So now we have same denominators. We can easily subtract these two numbers. 21 minus 10 is gonna give you 11. Okay, so I'm writing here 11 35s. So this is going to be your answer. Why? Because we don't need to simplify 1135. Why? The reason is this, that there are no numbers which can divide both of these numbers together. There is no common factor for 11 and 35. So that's why this is your answer. So now going towards third question, I am going to solve you, but before that you have to pause the video and try doing yourself. Okay, so I am going to stop for a second. Okay guys, so I hope so that you can do it. But now I'm going to try for you. So it's 5 6 minus 1 2. Again I'm writing both of my numbers here, 2 and 6. Which one is the smaller number? 2 is the smaller number. So now what we have to do, we have to go into times table of 2 and then we need to find 6 in times table of 2. So 2 times 3 is 6, isn't it? So now what I have to do, it means I found the number. Now it is easier for me to do which fraction I want to change, and that is the second one fraction. So leaving my first fraction as it is and going into the second fraction, which number you need to multiply is 3 in the top, in the bottom, and then you will get 5 6 minus 3 6. If you observe, you got same denominators. Now you can take away easily. 5 minus 3 is 2, and now you have 6 in the bottom. Now my dear, look at here what you need to do. You need to simplify your fraction again. Why? Because 2 and 6 have a common factor, which is actually 2, because this is very easy, and you need to know that what are the times table. Actually 2 to at least up to 14 you need to learn them. Okay, so that's very important. So you know that 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 3 is 6. It means 2 is a common factor for 2 and 6. I can write here like this, cancelling like this. 2 times 1 is 2 and 2 times 3 is 6. Now this is your answer. Okay, this is your simplified fraction. Okay, so now if you have no problem in this, very good. And if you still have any problem, I am going to solve more questions for you. Okay, so here is question number 4. Okay, wait a second here. All right, so 3 4 minus 2 5. So should I do it, or you can do yourself? Okay, let's try. You can do yourself this question. I am going to solve question number 6 for you. So it's 7 11 and 2/3. Look at here, 11 and 3 are the prime numbers. Prime numbers, you know what are the prime numbers. So prime numbers cannot be divided by any other number other than 1 and its own self. For example, 11 can be divided by 1 and 11 only, and 3 can be divided by 1 and 3 only. Okay, so it means there is no common factor for 11 and 3. So what we should do, how we can make the denominators equal? You know the other way is that you have to multiply both numbers with each other. That is 11 times 3 and 3 times 11 is gonna give you 33 and 33. Okay, so now the same thing I'm going to apply on my fraction. 7 by 11 is the first fraction, so write it. At first hand you need to just write it as it is, 7 11, and then go to the second fraction, bottom number, which is 3, multiply the top and the bottom. Okay, now the second fraction turns, write as it is 2/3, and then go into the first fraction's bottom number, which is 11. Multiply both the top and bottom by 11. Okay, now what you have to do, you have to write down the answers. 7 times 3 is 21 and 11 times 3 is 33. Okay, then you have 2 times 11 is 22 and 3 times 11 is 33. Okay, can you see here that you have same denominators, 33 and 33. So now we can add 21 and 22 is going to give you 2 plus 1 is 3 and 2 plus 2 is 4. So 43/33 is your answer. So it's again your simplified fraction because both are the prime numbers. Okay, so now guys, we are going to move towards our next page, and what you have to do, you need to first pause the video and try solving all these questions yourself. Okay, so now we are going to do mixed fraction. What is a mixed fraction? Mixed fraction is here in front of you, it's a mix of three numbers. Okay, so how to solve your mixed fraction? Let's do it. When you have this type of fraction in front of you, which has three numbers actually. So first of all, what you need to do is write down 5. That is your bottom number as it is, because it is not going to change. Your denominator is not going to change. Remember this thing. Okay, so now what is actually going to change is your top number. Okay, so now how we have to solve it? Starting from your bottom number, which is 5, then what you have to do, you need to multiply it with the side number. Side number is 1. Writing my bottom number again here, and then what you need to do, 5 times 1, and then answer will be added into the top number. Top is 2. Now just write the answer over here. 5 times 1 is 5 plus 2, and divided by 5 is gonna give you 7 by 5. So this is the answer of your mixed fraction. Okay, so guys, you have seen that 7 by 5 is an improper fraction. Do you know that what is an improper fraction? Improper fraction means in which top means the top number or the numerator is bigger than the denominator. Okay, so improper fraction is a fraction in which top number is bigger than the bottom number. So here you can see that 7 is bigger than 5, so that's why this is a improper fraction. Whenever you have improper fraction, your answer will be in mixed fraction. Okay, so we can try it by our own selves so that you have no issues in solving these type of questions. For example, I got the answer of this mixed fraction 7, 5. Alright, so I'm solving it over here. What I'm going to do using my bus stop method, 5 times 1 is 5, and my answer is, remainder is 2. So of course now you cannot divide 2 any further by 5, and we are not going to use decimal. Okay, so now how I can write these three numbers, 5, 1 and 2. So the bottom number is not going to change, that is 5, and remainder will be on the top, and this number, which is called quotient, is going to be written on side. So look at, we got back into our question. Understand now? Okay, so now when we are going to solve the questions in your worksheet, you will have no problem. Okay, now we have done 1, 2, 5 and 2.5. Let's do it again. Writing your bottom numbers as it is, 5, and here I'm writing 2, and now what I'm going to do, 5 times 1, which is 5, and then I have to add top number, which is 2. The same thing, first multiplication and then addition. The same thing you do in board mass. You know what you do in board mass? You always do your multiplication first and then your addition. Same thing you are going to do over here. 2 times 2 is 4, and then add 1 in this. So in this way you are going to get 7 5s and 5 2. Okay, so now this is solved. Mixed fraction is done. But still there is a problem. We need to add these fractions, and for adding the fractions, what you need to do, you need to make the denominators equal. So we have 2 and 5. Going into the small number, you cannot find 5 into times table of 2. So what's the other way? Multiply both number with each other. 2 times 5 and 5 times 2. It's going to give you 10 and 10 here. So now I can do the same thing in my question. In first fraction, I'm going to write 7 times 2 because it's 5 in the bottom, and then 5 times 2. So I think it's going to be so messy. Let me erase it. Okay, so now we can do it. In the second fraction, I have 5, 2. So what number should I write here for multiplication? Can you tell me? Yes, it's 5 because 5 is the bottom number of the first fraction. So I need to multiply in the top and in the bottom. So now what answer I'm going to get? 7 times 2 is 14, 5 times 2 is 10, and 5 times 5 is 25, and 2 times 5 is 10. So now we have same denominators. We can add these numbers easily. Okay, so 14 plus 25 is going to give you 39 tenths. So this is your answer. But the thing is, they said that you have to answer in mixed fraction. Alright, mixed fraction means we have to divide it. How you will divide it? Let's do it by our favorite bus stop method. Okay, so 10 times 3 is 30 and 9 is remainder. And of course, now you cannot divide 9 any further because 9 is less than 10. And you are not allowed to use decimal over here because you have to answer in fraction. Okay, how can you write these three numbers? As we just did it, so we have to do the same method, writing my bottom number as it is, which is 10, and remainder on the top, and quotient this number at the right. So this 3 and 9 10 is your mixed fraction answer. So you got it. We got 3 9 10, which is your mixed fraction answer. Okay, so I'm going to cancel it now and you can try yourself. Second question, which is 4 1/3 and minus 3 4/9. So I am going to pause for a second, and you can also pause the video, try it, and then come back. Okay guys, so hopefully you have done it. So but if you have any problem, you can tally your answer with this. Let's do it quickly. We have 4 1/3. So how do we need to do? Writing denominator as it is, that is 3, and in the second fraction again I am writing my denominator as it is. So starting from the bottom number, which is 3, going towards the side, starting from here, going towards right, then on the top. 3 times 4 is 12, and then you have to add 1 in this. Okay, so 9 times 3 is 27, and then you have to add 4 in this. So what answer you are going to get? 13 3 and 31 9s. Okay, so here is your mixed fraction answer. What you need to do is, now we need to take away. For that we need to make the denominators equal. How you can do that? You can do it by writing the numbers over here, go into the small number and find in the times table of 3, do you get 9? So yes, you can have 9 in 3 times table, which is 3 times 3. So now what I need to do, I need to change my first fraction, which is 13/3. Okay, so when you need to change it, it means you have to multiply the top and bottom by 3, like this and like this, and the second fraction will remain same. So now what you're gonna get, 13 times 3 is 39. Okay, and 3 times 3 is 9. So it is 31 nines, and now we can take away 39 minus 31 is 8. 9 is your answer. So we don't need to simplify it because they have no common factor. Okay, so this is all for today, and see you in next lesson. Till then, you need to practice and do as much as you can.